Hey everybody, welcome back to the Resistance. This is the Bumpkin in Chief. This is not a resistance of violence, but this is a resistance of ideas and information. Today is February the 20th, 2012. We want to discuss with you the topic of income inequality. This is a subject that is very illuminating, because if you look into this, you do a little bit of analysis. Doesn't take a whole lot, but if you do, you can see the falsehood that is socialism, Marxism, and communism. Because let's face it, it all comes down to economics. What starts wars? Economics. People have to eat. If I don't have enough to eat, what am I going to do? I'm going to try to take what somebody else has, or another country has. I don't mean me personally, but I mean humankind. This has been the record down through history, that it's the stomach that determines so many things. As the old saying is, necessity the mother of invention. If I'm hungry, I'm going to try to do something about it. And so the socialist, the communist, the Marxist is going to use economic issues to try to gather support for themselves, so that they can attain that position of power. This is what's going on right now with Mr. Obama and the liberals in our government, both Democrats and Republicans. They're spending the country into oblivion to promote this false idea of income inequality, and that they will take from one group of people and give to another group of people to make things fair. And we want to look at this today, and hopefully you'll be as illumined as we have become thinking about this. Is there income inequality in a free market? Absolutely. And is it right? Absolutely. You see, we could ask you some questions, and you could, by answering these, you could actually find out how you really feel about income inequality. Questions such as this: who should make more, or should they make the same? A teenager that's passing out telephone books, or a neurosurgeon? You would say that's ridiculous. The neurosurgeon should make more. Okay, that's good. That's broad, and that's the free market at work. Who should make more? The man that has a chain of grocery stores that he has built from the ground up has all the responsibility of all those. If a customer slips and falls and breaks their arm in one of his stores, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, who gets the phone call? He does. Has to deal with all the employees, all the taxes, all the bureaucratic nightmare, all the suppliers, all the issues. He's responsible for the whole thing. Who should make more, him or the person that lines up to dig a ditch, and there's 50,000 of those, and there's not too many people willing to put it all out there to develop a chain of grocery stores? Who should make more? Again, you say, well, the guy that's doing all that, getting all that responsibility, has worked all those years, invested all his time and his labor, his effort, he should reap the benefits of his labor. On the other end, all the ditch diggers, it doesn't take a whole lot to do that. And there's so many of them, so the market determines who gets those wages at what level. So that's pretty simple to resolve that also. Now we come to that part where the socialists really want to dig in, and the communists, and that is, what about the oil company executives that make 400 million in a year, and the poor guy down here that's not that's just barely scraping by. Should we take the money from that multi-millionaire and spread it out and give it to all these other people? Well, that is socialism. Spread the wealth around, and it's an artificial system. At first glance at this, you say, yeah, that's the fair thing to do. That's the way we want to do it. That's not the way that our Constitution and our system of government has been set up to do, because that's where you have the government dictating what people will make and how much they can make. It's artificial, and what it does, it tends to discourage investment. It tends to discourage people from being in business. It tends to discourage a free market, but it tends to cause to develop a black market, because when the government begins to dictate what people can make, then a black market arises. You have government control. What happens if you have and first of all, if you took all the money from all the people that have millions and like in Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, billions, it still wouldn't solve the problem. It would merely continue and expand the problem. Like right now, we've got so many people on Social Security disability that shouldn't be on it, because it's a free ticket from now on. If you're good enough, you're smooth enough, and you can fake disability, get a doctor to go along with you, get the Social Security Administration to authorize it, you're on there. And this is killing the United States of America right now. We can't, it's not sustainable, and we're going into economic oblivion because of this gross abuse. And it all comes from this thought of economic inequality. This guy's got it all. We need to take it and give it to these other people. Well, that wouldn't solve the problem, even if you did take all their wealth away. But as we said, government steps in and says, we're going to remedy this problem, and as a result, you begin an artificial system instead of a free market, a natural market. In other words, if I'm making 400 billion a year, well, let's change that to million. Net million. Not too many people make 400 billion a year except the government. If I'm making 400 million a year and the government comes in and says, we're going to make this fair, we're going to take 200 million. Now, do you think that I am going to hazard myself to spend the time and the effort to generate 400 million when the government's going to take half of it? I'm going to go 200 million. And if the government says I'm taking half of that, we're taking half, it's going to be 100 million. I'm going to keep on going down till I hit the sweet spot to where my tax liability is the least, the very least, in the system that I'm in. That's a smart businessman. I want to maximize my profits. You say, well, that's not fair that you're being like that. Well, hey, you know, I'm not in. I'm a dumb bra hopper, hillbilly redneck, the Bumpkin, but that's what I'm going to do. And if you're smart, you'll do the same thing. I'm not going to give this government any more money than I absolutely have to, so they can go out here and blow it on all the things that they're presently blowing it on. And that's the way. That's the natural response. That's the smart response. If I want to give my money to charity, I'm going to do it, and I do it. And that people that I feel have a genuine need. Now that's freedom. That's what freedom is about. So it would kill the free market. And you're going to find some people going to a haven in that kind of a system where they can make anything that their abilities, and we're talking about honestly and legally, they can make what their abilities, what their efforts can get for them. So this wage inequality, what Mr. Obama wants, he wants to be the arbiter of what's fair. He wants to set the price. He wants to set the wages. He wants to determine what everybody would make. And this is what you call communism, by central planning. And if you want that, what you're going to get is you're going to be standing in line for everything. Take a look at the Soviet Union, communist. Take a look at Cuba. They don't drive new cars there. They try to patch up and drive cars 20, 30 years old because the government sets everything and takes away, absolutely kills the initiative of people. What's the use? The government's just going to take it and give it away, give it to somebody else. But you notice one thing about it, that the leadership, they don't suffer like the common people do. If they've got a health problem, where do they go? They go to the United States for care, or they go to Costa Rica, or they go to France. They go somewhere for their care. They don't get it right there on the island of Cuba where they're at, or the ruling class. They're the ones that live very, very well, but they want to dictate to everybody else what they can earn, what they can do, what their business can charge for things. I'm afraid if Mr. Obama is elected to another term, we're going to see an implosion such as we've never seen before of the United States economy. But anyway, that's my thinking on the income inequality. You'll always have it because some people are more gifted, some people are more go-getters. You have different strata of income. You have some people that, like myself, I generate about probably 30 to 35,000 a year gross income. And my net is probably somewhere down around 23, 24, 25,000 a year. And I'm comfortable with that. I don't care about the guy that makes $1 million, $1 billion, whatever. My standard of living is very modest. I'm happy with it. The one thing I want is I want the government to get out of my business. I want the government to leave me alone. And I want my tax dollars to go for those things that we need, not for a bunch of politicians' ideas and their big spending habits, and to spend and buy votes with my money. The Bumpkin in Chief here, just a member of the Resistance, and if you want to join, all you got to do is embrace conservative principles and get these scoundrels out of office. That's what we need. We need a wholesale mass turnover in Congress, in the White House, and by extension the Supreme Court when appointments come up. We need to get this country back to conservative principles, start getting this national debt down, get it under control, get these deficits under control, and get a little more self-reliance. Like John F. Kennedy said, ask not what you can do for yourself or your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And by working, by trying to better yourself, getting the government out of your business, I think we all really enhance the value of America. Let me know what you think.